Assets, it's an important element to the home buying process. And really, there's a couple rules that you need to follow. There's two things in particular that you want to think about. We call it sourcing and seasoning. So let's talk about those for a second. Sourcing is, where's the money coming from? Is it coming from under the mattress? Is it coming from a 401k? Is it coming from a checking account? And seasoning, how long has it been in that location? Now, the underwriter and all the underwriting guidelines are going to state that they want to see where that money's at for the last 60 days. So if there's any money transferring from one account to another, we're going to have to paper trail backwards until we can find where that money has sat for at least 60 days. So the good hint on that one is don't transfer money back and forth between a lot of accounts. It'll save you a whole lot of time. Now the source, where's the money coming from? There's a few acceptable sources and some unacceptable sources. An unacceptable source would be what we call mattress money. That means that you have some cash. Like any good, hardworking American, you stash some cash, in a shoebox under the bed. They call that mattress money because that's usually where it's stored. That is not acceptable. What they're going to want to see where that money's been. So we want to see a checking account, a savings account, a 401k, an investment account, something like that tells the underwriter, hey, I've had this money. Now, really what this is doing is it's an anti-money laundering attempt by the government. They don't want a lot of overseas money being laundered and put into our housing system. Housing is a very crucial element to the stability of our entire economy. And in order to show the underwriter what we have, we want to provide asset statements. And these are going to come in a few different ways. What you want to do is provide 2 months worth of asset statements. So your checking account, savings account, you want to have 2 months of asset statements. Now, occasionally you'll have a bank account that maybe has, page 7 of 8 and then page 8 of 8 is blank. If it says that, they want to have every page, even the blank pages. So make sure that you have an actual, legitimate, full front to back statement on your checking and savings accounts. If you're doing an investment account, you're going to want to also download what's called the terms and conditions of withdrawal. What this means to you is that, maybe you have $10,000 in that account, but when you withdraw the money, maybe they're going to hit you, a 20% fee or something like that to pull it out. So you want to get that terms and conditions. Another question we get a lot is, what about gift funds? Can my parents or grandparents or aunts or uncles, can they gift me the money? The answer is yes, they can absolutely gift you the money. But keep in mind, we still have to follow the sourcing and seasoning rules that are out there. And so what this means is that if grandma and grandpa give you $10,000, the underwriter is going to see that grandma and grandpa have the ability to give you that $10,000. They're going to want to see a statement from them. Now, a lot of times, in-laws or grandparents or parents, they get uncomfortable sending you the checking account statement showing their entire, their entire financial history. So what will happen is you can have them send that directly to your processor, and sometimes that kind of avoids any of that awkwardness that may take place. You're also going to need a gift letter from them stating that you do not have to repay that money back. Earnest money is the money that you put down when they call it good faith money that you put down when you go put your house under contract. In order to be able to use this as part of the transaction, the underwriter, again, is going to need to see if it's sourced and seasoned. So if you write a check out of your checking account, maybe you've already given 2 statements, but that check hasn't cashed yet. So they're going to want to see an updated statement showing that has been cashed and that's out of the account. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. A lot of times people will take a screenshot of their phone. The underwriter will not accept that. They won't accept screenshots. What you can do is you can go online and you can actually do a printout of the account. But there's a few things that you need to make sure are on that printout. If you're printing from Google Chrome, make sure you click the button to include the URL, which will be printed across the bottom. They want to make sure that URL is on there. There's a few other things that you want to make sure is on that printout. You want to make sure your name's on the printout, the bank name's on the printout, and at least the last 4 numbers of the account number are on there. And what the underwriter is going to do is they're going to use this printout and line it up with the statement that you've already provided. They're going to be able to see that transactions match up, and they can see that your earnest money came out of there. That is acceptable after you've already submitted a couple of statements to the underwriter. So that kind of gives you the nuts and bolts of the asset statements. If you have questions, please reach out to your loan officer because we're always here to help.